Unit 5, page 62, Listening, Exercise D. You will hear people talking in 8 different situations. Before you listen, look at the questions and answer options below. Try to predict some of the phrases you might hear. Then listen and choose the correct answers. 1. You hear a man talking to his daughter. Why is he talking to her? A. To punish her for something she has done. B. To explain why he won't let her do something. C. To apologize for something he has done.
I'm sorry. I know you love windsurfing, but there are lots of reasons why not. Your age, for a start. I mean, you are only 15. Perhaps in a couple of years you could go. And anyway, that's why the school organizes a summer camp. I've no objection to that because there'll be trained teachers there and safety officers and all sorts. If it's just you and Maggie, what's going to happen if you get into trouble? It's not as if I can just come and pick you up. It's over 4 hours away by car.
2. You hear an announcement on an aeroplane. Why is the announcement being made? A. Because there is an emergency. B. Because there will be a delay. C. Because they are preparing to leave.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to inform you that the seatbelt sign has now been switched on. We apologize for the short delay, but we are now ready for takeoff. Would all passengers please return to their seats and put them in the upright position? Would you please also firmly secure the tray in front of you and make sure there are no items of luggage blocking the emergency exit. The cabin crew will come round with refreshments once we are in the air.
3. You hear a man talking on the radio. What has he done? A. Built a new car engine. B. Bought his first car. C. Had an accident in his car.
It started off as a bit of a hobby. I needed something to do in the evenings, and I had all these engine parts lying around from old cars. And I've always been quite interested in mechanics, so I just started putting different bits together. Well, this was the first one. It looked a mess. I mean, it really looked as though the car had been hit by a bus. And the first time I drove it, I was a bit nervous in case it blew up. But then I showed it to someone at Ford, and they said they were interested. It all took off from there, really.
4. You hear a travel agent talking about tourists on holiday. What does he say about guided tours? A. They won't answer your questions. B. They are very expensive. C. They help you enjoy your holiday.
Many tourists like to be independent. They like to discover things for themselves, and that's great. But often a guided tour is the best way to make the most of your holiday. You'll find out much more about the place because your guide will be an expert. Remember, these are people who do this every day, so any questions you have will be easy for them to answer. People worry about the cost, but it really isn't very much. For a small amount of money, you'll get lots of information, and it could really make a difference to your holiday experience.
Five. You hear someone talking on the radio. How did she feel while she was on holiday? A. Relaxed. B. Nervous. C. Thoughtful.
I was very anxious about it. I couldn't sleep for days before we went because I was worried that I'd made a big mistake in booking it. Oh, then there were all these newspaper reports about tourists falling victim to crime. So when I arrived, I was expecting the worst. But I must admit, I didn't give it a second thought once I was there. It seemed a really calm place, and I had a fantastic time. But then, inevitably, people's reactions when I told them where I'd been, well, it was kind of You went where?
6. You hear part of a lecture about transport. Which problem does the lecturer say is the most serious? A. Poor public transport. B. Lack of parking places. C. Traffic jams.
So we continue to build more roads and we develop faster cars, but still our journey time can be doubled as we look for somewhere to park. Of course, a good public transport system can help a lot. It helps keep cars off the roads, but we need to do more. We need to build car parks and create more parking spaces. Yes, we have traffic problems in our towns and cities, but most of these problems would be solved if drivers had suitable places to leave their vehicles. This is the problem that we need to solve first.
Seven. You hear a teenager talking about a problem she has. What is her problem? A. She can't afford to go on holiday this year. B. She doesn't want to go away with her parents. C. She hasn't seen her friends for 2 weeks.
My parents don't understand. Not really. It's not the money, because they're quite happy to pay for me to go on holiday with them. But they don't realise that it's boring doing the things that they want to do. They say things like, oh, it's only for a few more years, and then you'll be able to do what you want. But I'd rather stay at home than spend 2 weeks without seeing my friends.
8. You hear a driver being interviewed on the radio. What has his recent driving course taught him to do? A. Teach other drivers to drive better. B. Be a safer driver. C. Learn from his mistakes.
How are you different from other drivers on the road?
Well, the advanced driving course makes you more careful. It prepares you for everything that could happen on the road, the kind of mistakes drivers make. You're ready for what other drivers are going to do. People do all sorts of silly things in their cars. Of course, everyone makes mistakes, but this course teaches you how to keep safe, how to avoid an accident.
Doesn't watching other people sort of stop you from thinking about your own driving?
No, the whole point of the course is that you concentrate much more on the road, and that way you stay out of danger.